Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Nick Hershey. I am the president and founder of the Mortgage Calculator. We are a lender that operates a little bit differently. We specialize in non-QM and alternative documentation loans, as well as conventional USDA, VA, FHA, all the great stuff that everybody else does as well. So I'd like to thank you guys for joining us today so we can talk a little bit more about what makes us different and special. So let me share my screen here. And most of you guys have probably seen this page, so that's great. But let me go through kind of line by line and just explain what we really mean here. So as I mentioned, we are a lender and we are non-delegated. What that means for us, we have built this, basically this model of what we've been doing in all the different channels, both from an FDIC bank to a broker model to a non-del and a del model. And we find that non-delegated works best because we can kind of do the best of both worlds. So we can still work with over 60 different lenders for brokering. We can do wholesale brokering with them. And the best option is we have over 25 investors that we work with where we are the lender when we're the correspondent. The important thing for us is that we have a place for our borrowers. No matter what is best for us is not what really matters. It's what's best for our borrowers. If that means it's a broker deal, so be it. We will do a broker deal. If that means it's a correspondent deal, so be it. We will do a correspondent deal. We want to make sure we serve our borrowers. And we say that because we are all about leads. So we generate leads at a massive scale. Myself and Kyle come from a marketing background. We spent millions of dollars on all the different ad platforms to generate leads for all kinds of different industries and companies. And we want to fill your guys' pipelines with leads. So we have leads at a 50-50 split. Kyle will show you guys exactly what that looks like on the back end here in a minute, so you can see what kind of leads, but you can basically get all kinds of different streams from multiple different avenues. How we operate those leads and deliver those leads to you guys is through our free proprietary mortgage CRM with a dialer. So again, CRM dialer, pretty much the same as everything else in the industry. Everybody's works pretty much the same, so not much special there. What's important to note is that it's all integrated. So along with that CRM and dialer comes our free custom website with our 1003. So really what that means is our point of sale system, right? So a customer can come to your website, fill out a simple form, any of our forms on any of our pages that you guys get instantly. They become a lead, but they can also get pushed all the way through the system, through the CRM, but actually upload their documents, actually complete their 1003, and actually push their 1003 and pull their credit instantly into Encompass and all the other actual systems that we use to originate the loan. So everything is fully integrated. We have our full CRM, POS, LOS, everything is integrated through an API. So if you guys know what APIs are, that's how we push all the data through. We still use all the great systems you guys are used to: Optimal Blue, Encompass, Mismo. What do we use? Account Check. We use CIC for credit, Meridian Link, Zillow. All the great things that we have plugged in are all through APIs. So there's nowhere where you have to go or your customers have to go to use those different platforms. It's all integrated into one system. So the other thing that we've noticed when we've built this team under different platforms is the training. So we're very passionate about training. We have daily live trainings like we're doing now as a group, but we also have one-on-one team leader support calls, branch manager support calls. We want to make sure whenever you guys are stuck on something, you can get on a Zoom, which is the best avenue, where we can actually take over your screen and actually click the button to get you unstuck, right? So if you're stuck on Encompass or stuck in the CRM, need help with DU, whatever it is, we want to make sure we're actually there and able to click that button for you one-on-one. You can also get one-on-one help in our live support center. So we also have 4 different processors full-time on staff in our Zoom support center. So they're there to help you, again, get unstuck whenever you're stuck. We also have our online training center you can access anytime, which is more of like a curriculum-based learning, where if there's something specific you're stuck on, it's probably in the training center with a nice guide and video to show you exactly what's going on there. The other support that we provide is our knowledge center, which is super cool. It's searchable. It has resources not only from us and thousands of videos, but also from our partners and our lenders, right? So our 60 wholesale lenders that all have their own, guidelines and whatnot. They all have articles, videos, how-tos, all that kind of great stuff in our knowledge center. Same with us. We have all of our videos in there as well of how to do the loan start to finish and all the different tips and tricks. We are very passionate about leads. So not only do we give you guys access to all of our leads at a 50-50 split, but Kyle will show you guys how we set you up with your own leads. So if you already have your lead campaigns going, you know what you're doing, you already have sources, great. We'll show you how to route those into the CRM so your customers can go start to finish all the way through the process seamlessly. As well as if you don't have leads, that's no problem. We want to make sure everyone on our team has a lead campaign set up. So whether you have one now or not, we're going to make sure you get that set up. You know how to work the leads, and we're going to base your business on always generating leads at scale with our CRM and our integrated system for you. Something that I'm very passionate about personally when I work with my clients is the DSCR loan. So you guys are probably familiar with that. If you've been in the industry recently, they're very popular. We've been doing this for over 4 years and really focusing on the business purpose DSCR aspect. And one of the great things about that is you can do loans outside of your footprint. So we can do those in about 30 states beyond just where we're licensed. So we can take an investor with multiple properties, do their primary home in a state we're licensed. Obviously, so you have to be licensed there. But if they have rental properties all over America, which a lot of our investors do, we're able to still service that client and still provide that great service to all the different states and all the different places under the DSCR business purpose loans. And the final thing that we always mention here that we're very passionate about is no monthly fees. So we've built every line of code that you're about to see. Everything you've seen is built by us with hundreds of thousands of lines of code, and there are no fees because we built that for us by us. We don't have to pay third-party vendors for CRMs and systems. We've built everything for you guys, so we want to make sure we pass that on to you guys. So what you see is what you get. There's no secret hidden fees of any kind. So let's go into the comp plans, which is always the next part here. So we have found that these 3 basic comp plans work best for our business model. Again, because we're all about leads and operate a little bit differently. And we wear 2 hats where we do loans brokered, and we also do loans as a correspondent, right? Where we're the lender. So a little bit different than you're used to. So it's make sure that these plans are based on that setup and work best for our setup. So our goal here is to get everybody to a senior loan officer as quick as possible. So everybody's obviously drawn to that. So let's talk about that first. Everybody's goal is to make 200 basis points, which is 2% on all the conventional non-QM stuff we're used to. Obviously, there's different compensation for commercial and some of the other crazy stuff we do. But the stuff we're all used to, conventional, non-QM, 2%, 200 basis points, that's where we want to get you to. Now, how do we get you there? We're going to start everybody as a loan officer. Once you close 6 loans, you'll automatically become a senior loan officer just once you get used to our system here. So when you're a senior loan officer, you get everything we just talked about. You get access to all of our different lead streams that Kyle will show you. And the most important lead stream once you're a senior loan officer is you're going to receive leads from our loan officer assistants, which we'll talk about here in a minute, which are very different than what you might be used to. So make sure we pay attention there in a minute. The goal is to get you to senior and get you connected with loan officer assistants to generate those great deals where you guys can work together. There's also team leader opportunities. Once you start, learning how to do loans, we want to make sure you teach others on your team how to do loans so you can grow your team. And you can also get some recruiting bonuses as well for growing your team, obviously. Now, everybody, even if you've done 1,000 loans or it's your first loan, you're going to start as a loan officer just because we operate differently here. We're very different than any other lender out there. So we want to make sure we get you guys rocking and rolling. We teach you the systems. We show you exactly how our system works. And for that, you're going to have to start as a loan officer, and you still make great compensation, 150 basis points or 1.5% commission on what you guys are all used to, conventional non-QM type stuff. And you're still going to have access to all the great software we talked about. And you're going to have access to all the company leads in the system that Kyle's about to show you. And basically, you still get access to those at a 50-50 split. So if you take a company lead as a loan officer, you're going to make 75 basis points or 0.75% commission. Once you get upgraded to senior, you're going to make 100 basis points or 1% commission on your company leads. And you'll also still have access to recruit people and build your team as well under the loan officer plan. And remember, this is just for your first 6 loans. Doesn't matter if it takes you 6 months to get your feet under you and get going, or if a lot of people can do it in just, their first month or their second month, right? So whenever you do those 6 loans, you'll automatically upgrade it to a higher compensation on your future loans, and you'll be rocking and rolling. Now, if you're not quite ready to do loans, maybe you're new, maybe you're just getting back in the industry, maybe you're somewhat part-time still and still working a day job, we have the loan officer assistant plan. This doesn't mean that you are not licensed. This is for licensed loan officers who may be just getting in the industry and aren't quite ready to, sign their life away on that 1003 as a loan officer, where you're fully responsible every step of the way. So if you're not quite ready to jump in both feet, we understand, and we have this plan for you. You're still going to make great commission because you're still licensed. So you're still going to make 75 basis points for helping on the file and learning, and you're going to make that 75 basis points or 0.75% for referring your deal, your friend, your family member, maybe you're a realtor and it's your client and you're not quite ready to be a loan officer, but you want to be involved and learn. You're going to refer that deal to a senior loan officer who knows exactly what to do, exactly what button to press, exactly when to close that loan. And you're going to learn by communicating with your client. You're going to be the assistant on that deal for that senior loan officer. The loan officer that's pushing the buttons doesn't need to call your friend or your family member. You can do that, right? You're going to collect the documents. You're going to communicate with the loan officer and be the assistant on that deal and help them close it and make great compensation while doing so. And you're going to learn a lot while doing so. So this is the plan for people who maybe are just learning and want to get started. You're still going to have access to all our great systems. You're still going to have access to some company leads that Kyle will show you, not necessarily the hot leads that are coming in. Those go directly to loan officers, but you can do some of our auto dialers and cold calls and stuff, which Kyle will show you. And the whole goal here is to refer leads to people who know exactly what they're doing and can really help you close those deals quicker, which makes you money quicker, obviously, if you're just learning. So these are the 3 plans that work best for us. Remember, this is different than most other companies. So hopefully that makes sense for you guys. Next part, we always go into the software. So Kyle, you ready to take over and actually show exactly what this stuff looks like?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. So once we bring you on board, of course, we will go through this in depth here, but I just want to highlight a few different things here. So for one, this is the CRM. Now I won't go through too many features of it here, but just to highlight a couple things. Obviously, like most CRMs, you can, set reminders, take your notes, send your email, send your text, you pile up the communication here. But you can also put them on action plans, automated drip campaigns to text them and email them over time, all that kind of good stuff that most CRMs have. But one of the things that makes our CRM different is our quoting system. And so what you'll see here is you can put in 6 pieces of info that you can just ask the client without pulling credit or needing documents. You can click one button to get the pricing from our API with Optimal Blue, pull up all the pricing from our different investors and lenders for that scenario automatically. And within 2 minutes, you can send your client a text and an email with a nice, pretty quote that looks like this on your website here, shows them the different rate choices they have, pulls in the Google map automatically, pulls in the Zestimate automatically, pulls in the loan info here, the monthly breakdown of the taxes, insurance, the estimated closing fees, and has you here as the loan originator. And you can also add your realtor partners as the realtor on here. So your realtors absolutely love this, right? They know when they send you a client, you're going to send them a nice, pretty quote within minutes, and you're going to attach the realtor on here and show their clients, hey, remember, we are your team here that's going to push this deal across the finish line. So nobody is doing that with your realtor partners right now, I guarantee it, and you're able to include them on the process and have them on here looking all nice and professional and including them in the process where you're, quoting the borrower. Now, the coolest part about this is that the client can click Start My Loan Application, and that is how they can move forward. That allows them to create their borrower portal right away. And let me show you what it looks like here. They can start their application right here. It prompts them to start their 1003, prompts them to upload the basic documents that we're going to need, right? Shows them the loan info. They can see the milestone of where their loan is at. They can contact you through here. So they're popping up to their borrower portal right now. Now, when they finish this application, this 1003 in the system, they give authorization to pull credit. Now we also have the credit. Right? So let me show you now what this looks like on your end, right? So on your end, you can now help them upload the 1003. You can help them upload their documents. You can request documents here. You can say, oh, hey, I need bank statements for the last 2 months. Now it's asking them for those bank statements. They get an email saying, hey, we still need your bank statements. You could also change the entire packet and say, you know what, we started as a conventional, but we're going to go VA. You don't even need to know the basic documents you need. You can just say, yeah, I want the system to ask them for the documents I'm going to need for a VA, right? And it's going to give you and request those documents from the borrower. You can also request signatures and say, hey, I need this signature. Now it requests that signature from the borrower. When they log in, they just click one button to sign that signature right here, right? Just one button. They don't have to leave the page. Again, everything is here within our system, right? You can also request custom document types. So you're going to be able to use our system to gather the 1003, but also gather the documents, request any more documents that you need, automatically remind them about the documents that you need, and they are going to be able to give permission to pull their credit at the end of the 1003. We pay for that credit pull, not you and not your clients. So that way, when you are ready to originate the loan and you receive the 1003 and the documents here, you can just pull up our Encompass API and say, you know what, let me pull up Encompass, and it's all right here. You're originating the loan right here in our system. And guess what? The 1003 is going to be filled out in here. The credit is already going to be pulled into here, into the Encompass API that we have. So you never have to open Encompass again on your computer. Those of you who are familiar with Encompass, we have it all right here in our system with the API. And again, once they fill out that 1003, everything's going to be in here. The credit is going to be in here. So every single thing that you need is all here in this one place. Everything from them becoming a lead, to communicating with them, to quoting them, to gathering their 1003, gathering their documents, pulling their credit, and then originating the entire loan here in Encompass in our system. So pretty amazing here how we can take everything from start to finish. Now, after you've originated the loan, now you need to keep track of the loan in your pipeline tab. So again, here in our system, we're keeping track of everything. So the pipeline tab is going to show you all of your different loans, the milestone those loans are in, the different lender or investor they may be at, right? So it's going to keep track of that. Now, most importantly, it's going to have your milestones here. So when the appraisal is received, you're going to want to change that. That's going to ask you if you want to send a status change to the client. If you choose to send the status change, it's going to automatically email the client and the realtor and you and your branch manager so that everyone knows this loan is now at the status that the appraisal is received, right? So super important there. The number one complaint about loan officers from both realtors and clients is lack of communication. So we're going to use our system to track everything automatically. We're going to use our system to update everyone automatically and keep in touch with everyone. So again, that's how we take the lead from being a lead to contacting, following up, quoting, gathering 1003, gathering documents, originating the loan, and then tracking the loan all the way through the entire process, all the way through closing and funding, and making sure that everyone's updated on that all automatically here in one system, one login. You don't need to go anywhere else. So now let's talk about where the actual lead comes from in the first place, right? So there's a few different ways that we give you leads. First and foremost, we give you leads from our Facebook campaigns, right? These are the hot, fresh leads that Nick was referring to that we're really experts at, right? So let me pull this over and I'm going to show you a real profile. This is my real test profile. I'm actually getting texts as we speak with these leads. So what happens when we get a lead from our Facebook campaign, you get a text message instantly with a link to that lead. So you can pick up that lead right away. We always contact the lead within the first minute. So let me show you what this looks like. This is my real test profile. This is just since this morning. You'll see, since this morning, I've gotten 4 national DSCR leads. I've gotten regular purchase leads. I've gotten trigger leads. I've gotten national business purpose leads. I've got fix and flip leads that have came in. I got all kinds of different leads here. I got referrals from one of our loan officer assistants, right, that set up a deal. So I've got all these different leads coming in here in real time. So this is an actual example of a real test profile just today of all the leads that have come through to that test profile today. So that's what you would be looking at. Notice I just got a 5 to 8 mixed use right this second, just came in, right? 5 to 8 unit mixed use lead just came in right this second. So again, this is real in real time, right? So that's the first and foremost way that we provide you leads. Another way that we provide you leads is here through our auto dialer. So in our auto dialer, we have a bunch of different lists in here. We have cold calls, we have realtor calls, we have all different kinds of calls in here to where you will never run out of leads to call, right? There's different lists in here, and you can come in here and call 300 people in a day using the auto dialer or more. And you just pick up your phone once, you never hang it up, right? You can just click, call people, drop an automated text and email automatically when they don't answer that says, hey, I just called about your purchase or your refi or whatever type of call it is. It also has a script. If you're calling a refi lead, there'll be a refi script right there when you're calling using the auto dialer. So super simple way to make sure that you can always drum up business, whether it's some of these lists that we have in here that are opted in leads, or they're just lists of cold calls. There's always something in there to keep you busy. So that's another way that we provide leads. Another way you can get leads in our system here is you can purchase them. So those same leads that we give you, for example, that 5 to 8 mixed use lead, 5 to 8 unit mixed use lead that just came in, you could purchase those yourself, right? So that you do not have a lead split, right? So if you purchase a lead campaign, we're going to give you those same exact leads from the same exact ad campaigns that we get ours that we're giving you at a split with no split, right? So a perfect example of when this works out is one of our loan officers, Nicole. She closed her first deal ever as a loan officer, right? $1,060,000 deal. It got denied somewhere else. Jose helped her turn it into a profit and loss statement loan. We were able to close that loan for that client. It was one of the leads from our campaigns, but it was one of the leads she purchased from our campaigns. So her $16,000 commission, first commission ever as a loan officer, $16,000 commission, she saved $8,000 because she purchased the lead for herself to fill her own pipeline with more leads than what we give her, and for self-gen comp leads, not just the leads that we're giving her on a lead split. So important to fill your pipeline with more leads than just what we give you, and also important to fill your pipeline with leads that you don't have to pay a lead split on. Now, another way that you can work leads here in our system is you can import them. So if you purchase leads from somewhere else, that's great, right? If you are used to purchasing leads from Zillow or Free Rate Update or something, that's perfect. You can use this link to zap them right into our system in real time. So when that lead comes in, you'll get an email and a text from our system, just like one of the leads that we give you. So you can call them, quote them, gather the documents, do the loan, everything in the same system all happens in real time, right? So you can purchase leads from wherever you want and bring them in our system in real time using this webhook. You could also do your own Facebook ads, right? If you're good at Facebook marketing, you could use this to send them in there as well. So that's another way that we provide you to work leads. So since we're talking about leads, I want Nick to talk a little bit about the type of leads that we provide you and why. So as Nick said earlier, Nick and I come from more of a marketing background. We own an ad agency, and that's actually how we first got into the mortgage industry. And so Nick has a certification from Facebook as a digital marketing associate. He has a certification from Facebook as a media planning professional, and has a certification from Google as a Google Ad Search specialist. And we've been doing this online marketing for a long time. So we're more so a lead company that got into the mortgage business. So leads is really what we do, and Nick is kind of the lead master. So I will go ahead and turn it over to him to talk about the type of leads that we specialize and why we do that. So go ahead there, Nick.
Sure. So we always want to do something unique when we go about to do a campaign, right? We don't want to be like everybody else, do the same ads as everybody else, just compete with everybody else. So for the last 4 years, we've been really focused on doing things differently than a lot of the big guys, right? So the bigger rockets and stuff, right? They're going to advertise to the easy customers, right? That are the vanilla files and do the, massive amounts of refis, but obviously they're firing tens of thousands of employees every day. So I'm sure some of you guys probably came from that, right? So it's obviously not a business model that always works. So we've always been focused on providing value and doing something different. So we want to focus on the customers that they're not focused on and offer something of value to those customers. So we've been doing non-QM, basically targeting for about the past 4 years. and specifically a lot of the DSCR stuff we talked about before. But basically the gist of it was we want to do something different. So we want to advertise to the customers that aren't getting advertised to, the investors, the self-employed people, the people that the Rockets don't want, right? They're not spending money on, and we're not competing with them. They're billions of dollars. We're going to get those customers that are underserved, and we're going to serve them with great products and programs that we have. So we have, thousands of non-QM programs that these customers didn't know existed. So we're going to put that in front of them. We're going to get them with those programs, but we're still going to do a great job. I love teaching you guys how to take people that you may think may be the most craziest person in the world, right, with no income or no opportunity for a loan, and find different avenues to make that work, right? Or even an investor with 100 properties, and we're still going to do a conventional loan for an investor with 100 properties. We're still going to do an investor with, pages, hundreds of pages of Schedule E's, teach you guys how to do that, how to manage that, so that we can serve those clients that, the big guys won't. And we're going to knock it out of the park because we're going to have the products to help them, right? We're going to have all the great non-QM products. We're going to have the knowledge, but if they do qualify for conventional, we're still going to do that. So we're still going to do the proper loan stuff, teach you guys how to do all that great stuff, and then back it up with having the alternative doc options, which we'll teach you guys how to do as well. So we take every file in. We might get them with a bank statement, ad, because they didn't think they could do a loan. They got denied by Rocket before, right? They didn't think it's possible. But when we analyze it, we can do the bank statements, but we're still going to do their full analysis. They might qualify for conventional because, some other loan officers don't know exactly how to do self-employed borrowers. So we love teaching you guys how to take those leads that you might think weren't good before and find solutions for those. But also we want to make sure we're serving these borrowers and advertising, getting people who didn't get targeted from the big guys, and really get them, serve them, and just knock it out the park. And that way also, as Jose always mentions, we are providing value. So we're not like the big guys and basically taking the margin from you, right? So all the big guys are paying less than half of what we're paying because they're doing this mass advertising and racing to the bottom to see how low they can cut your guys' commission, to see how low they can offer a rate to a customer online, and just do it the easy way. So we're going to teach you guys how to do it the right way and teach you guys how to knock it out the park with the customers, whether it's going to be a non-QM program or even a conventional program that we just show you guys how to properly analyze every deal and really knock it out the park with that. So we do advertise a little bit differently, as Kyle said, because we don't want to be the big guys, but we're going to teach you guys how to successfully take those customers and turn them into possibly regular deals as well. Does that make sense?
Can you just, yeah, absolutely. Can you just touch on the actual, some of the actual products that we do have?
Sure. So we obviously can do conventional, FHA, USDA, VA, all that great stuff that you guys are all used to. We have a plethora of non-QM from, the stuff you guys have heard of bank statements, 1099, P&L. Basically, if a program exists, we have it, asset-based, no ratio, all the DSCR programs, all the commercial programs, all the fix and flip programs, all the ground up programs, all the 203K programs, all the construction to perm programs, SBA programs, pretty much any program that exists, because we have over 100 different outlets. That's what we're all about. We want to get these leads that might have weird ideas that don't get served by the Rockets, right? And we're going to find a home for them, right? Every deal that comes through the door, we're going to find a home for, whether it's an obscure lender. We have 2 lenders that do just land, right? Land only, right? We get investors and lenders that want to do land, then they want to build on it, right? But first they got to buy the land, right? So we got to finance the land, then we got to finance the ground up construction, which we have as well. Then you got to finance the permanent financing as well. So these are some of the best deals. The weird stuff is where you can find, deals that just keep paying, right? And as Jose loves to say, once you solve a problem for someone, you become a consultant, they just refer you business. Even before you close a loan for them, you'll find people that find out that if you know how to do something right, they're going to refer you deals before you even, close a loan with them. So it's an amazing thing.
Absolutely. So with that being, excuse me, with that being said, let's go ahead and have Jose talk more about that and his experience and the role he plays here, and then we'll open it up to questions. Go ahead, Jose.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this afternoon. So we have been talking about technology, we have been talking about leads, and we have also spoken about support, and I'm going to expand on the support and give you an example, illustrative example of that. But we're talking about, like Kyle was mentioning with Nicole, getting a newly minted MLO, hot off the press, right? Decides to go all in on her leads program, reels in a deal that had been denied by another lender through another organization, not through the mortgage calculator. They were trying to go full doc with this borrower. And then when she got the lead, she booked the meeting because she knew it was a big fish. She didn't want to lose it. It was a 1.45 approximately $1 million purchase of a waterfront property in Fort Lauderdale, 85% LTV investment. Ooh, right. So everybody was trying to go full dog, yada yada. I don't know. Oh, but full dog, like I don't know what kind of occupancy they were trying to do either. But basically it was investment how we did it, 85%, and it was through a P&L, and it was through meetings. Meetings. She booked a meeting, we analyzed the scenario, and with that being said, I'm going to give you an here show you my screens so you can see what is seen when they go to book the meetings with me. Here is my scheduling page in Calendly, and you see file disclosure meetings for when the MLO needs to disclose the file. Only seniors get to disclose their own files after passing the seniors test. Quick loan file review, that's a good one. You know, that's like a 15-minute meeting, even though they tend to go long. We're not looking to cut you off at 15 minutes. Then we have our change of circumstance and LE redisclosure meetings, and the ever popular, especially with those newer MLOs, three-way meeting with client. This one is especially popular when it's a foreign national. Then it's not a matter of you being fresh. It's about maybe it's in Spanish and I'm trying to reel them in for you, you know, and then we'll figure out about the processing. But the idea is to get them to commit to the loan. Usually once they find out our grade 4 national options, they do 75% on a purchase, 70% on a cash out. And this is a quick link I have just for partners and vendors. So you do see all of the support that we offer. So again, those structure meetings, man, I'm telling you, we get stuff that people would have no idea is doable. Their head starts spinning when we, you know, provide the solutions to them, and they're saying, my God, so I can do this and you don't need a job from me, whether it's a DSCR or whether it's a CDFI, no income type verification loan for primary homes and second homes. So there are a lot of options that we offer. We're always trying to create the awareness on the team to think outside the box, to grab all of those opportunities, to come across as a consultant. And again, going back to adding value to the transaction to stay relevant in this very competitive environment. It's not about being a quote bot or anything like that. It's about a combination of things where the customer is going to appreciate what you're doing, be glad that they're doing business with you, and pay the, you know, whatever it is, you know, usual and customary closing costs, and seal the deal and get on to the next.
Perfect. Thank you, Jose. So let's go ahead and wrap it up. So in conclusion here, and then we'll get into questions, but in conclusion, just to go over it, you'll see here the support, right? Jose has been a loan officer and realtor for 27 years, right? And he's showing you his Calendly right there where you can book these meetings with him. We also have our support Zoom room that's open 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. 6 days a week, where you can jump in instantly by clicking a Zoom link, and we have 4 processors in there that can help you with things. Maybe you get stuck on something in Encompass, or maybe you need a login for something that you don't have one yet. Whatever the case may be, they can help you as well. As Nick mentioned, we have a knowledge center, we have a training center. 4 nights a week, we do meetings just like this with me, Nick, and Jose, speaking to the group, going over files, going over, you know, different sales meetings. Every night we have some different stuff where you can ask questions and we go over things. So the training here is absolutely amazing. You saw that the CRM is absolutely amazing. You see all these leads coming in, which is amazing, right? Well, what's missing here is the loan officer, right? So we can do as much as we possibly can for you, but it's still going to take that work from you. So I always like to mention here at the end that it's going to take a lot of work, right? This isn't a too good to be true. The comp is so high. The CRM does everything for me. The leads are coming in. They're giving me leads. Then I get a deal and I book meetings with Jose. Well, yes, but it's going to take a lot of training, and it's going to take a lot of work, and it's going to take picking up the phone, right? So loan officer assistance, obviously a little bit different. You know, you're getting warmed up, but as a full-on loan officer, remember, this is going to be a lot of training. It's going to be a lot of work, and it's going to take you picking up the phone. So it's not too good to be true. There is a reason why this is structured how it is because it's going to take work. It's something you have to take serious, right? So if you're not ready to take it as serious, of course, you would come on as a loan officer assistant. So I just like to wrap it up with that. Obviously, we can boost your production. You could come in, as Jose likes to say, you can plug into the matrix. Everything is here for you to plug into, but it's going to take that work once you plug into it. So with that being said, let me go ahead and share my screen here and talk about the next steps. So when you are ready to move forward, you're going to go ahead and go to the link. Nick, you could drop the link there in the chat for me, please. You're going to go to themortgagecalculator.com/join. You're going to click the plan that's applicable to you, whether you're going to join as a loan officer or a loan officer assistant. It's going to take you to fill out a form, and then it's going to pop up the compensation agreement, that initial comp agreement. Now, you don't have to sign it right then. It's going to email you a copy, so no worries. Take your time, check your email, look it over. But once you sign that initial agreement is what kicks off the rest of the onboarding process. Once you sign that first agreement, we then reach out with all of the next steps to get your ID documents for us to sponsor your license, and we take you through how to get us to sponsor your license. So we have the next steps of the onboarding. So first step here, sign up for which plan is applicable, fill out that initial compensation agreement once you've reviewed it, and at that point, we will go ahead and continue on to the next steps. So with that being said, Nick, why don't you go ahead and stop recording? Let's go ahead and get into the questions here. So please drop your questions in the Q&A as we go forward.